a very successful 18th annual Standing on the Corner Festival is over. Probably more stories go along with this one than ever. A lot of emotion attached to the concert and the weekend. It all begins back on Friday when the dedication was to have taken place. Didn't happen. Give us a little insight as to why the statue didn't get here.
Well, the artist, once he had got into the process and the statue was to go to the foundry, the foundry owner had a heart attack and passed away, and so the statue was locked up inside. The artist didn't have a way to get at it for about 72 hours, I believe, and so that was a serious problem there. But luckily he was able to get it, and he worked day and night for 3 or 4 days to get it down and get it done and get it up here.
Phoenix radio broadcast on site. They hang around, do it again on Saturday, kind of unheard of. Mm-hmm. And people that came, a lot of unhappy people coming from not only around this country but around the world for this event. I don't know what you want to call them, hangers-on or folks that got acquainted with Glenn Frey over the years, but it was very, very special to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Glenn Frey, the music and that song, I mean, it just, for Winslow, we take it represents us, but for so many millions of people worldwide, that invokes an emotion and a time and place in their life that represent, I don't know, growing older, maybe their first car drive, maybe their first date, maybe graduating from high school, or traveling through the Southwest. There's so much, and so many people attach that to them that it just really brings out a lot of raw emotion. It's wonderful to see. It was amazing to see. Amazing.
One particular incident that you have described, an individual, apparently man and wife from England, who came. They were going to be here irregardless. When he found out things weren't kosher on Friday morning, he was irate.
He was a little upset. You can imagine a man traveling and making plans from, London, England to take part in something that he was just so dedicated to, I believe, in his life, and what the music of the Eagles and Glenn Frey and that song, and just to get all this way and not to have it happen, I could imagine disappointment. It made all of us sick to our stomachs, because, there was that one and there was a few more, but it just made us sick to our stomachs. What can you do at that point, when you realize that it was a little bit bigger than that situation of why the statue wasn't here, and you just move on, and as the hours in the day wore on, I mean, people realize that, it'll be all right. You got to, like the song says, take it easy. So everyone got better, and the ones that could stay, we wished that they all would stay, because it was coming, and we apologize sincerely to the people that had to go back without being able to see it. That still makes me sick to my stomach, but all in all, I think everyone understood, and came together, and it turned out to be just a truly amazing event. It was very emotional.
The particular gentleman that you spoke of, I know you had very close contact with him, and he had other plans, go to the canyon and such, had reservations there. I know you kept in touch with him. He managed to get back. Tell us about his feelings for being able to be here for that presentation.
It was wonderful. You can imagine the roller coaster. In hindsight now, looking at think of what he was going to do, he's going to the Grand Canyon. He was going to helicopter the Grand Canyon, matter of fact, and they'd already been to Roosevelt and Saguaro, and they've already done a lot of Arizona things, the Monument Valley. But after he decided to stick around, once he realized the statue was going to be here, and he caught me in the crowd, after the dedication, and he just thanked me and just told me it was the best day of his life. He just couldn't imagine anything more better than this. It just really moved him, and he was so happy he stayed, and he just full of enthusiasm and happiness, and he was just real thankful he stayed, and like I said, he said it was the best day ever.
The auction this year was very, very special. Talk about the family from Texas. I believe they bought an item. There was something special that went along with the purchase of that item.
That's correct. They were from Sterling City, Texas, and there was a package deal in the auction itself. It come with the autographed guitar from the band that closed the show one of these nights, the tribute band. So you had the autographed guitar, and then you also had a special 2 seats that we'd set up on the stage that they could sit stage side and enjoy the show. Boy, did they. they were dancing and taking photos and having a beer and dancing and photos and filming. And I seen him after the show. I was backstage with him, and they were so happy. And he said he always wanted to be on stage with a band, and this was just the greatest day of his life also. It was a neat thing.
One of the greatest crowds over the 18 years, apparently, at this Standing on the Corner Festival. Talk about the tribute band.
Oh, Lord. I got to say, that is one of the best that I've ever heard. Like I was mentioning to you earlier, you could actually close your eyes, and they were pretty dang close to what you thought might have been the Eagles up there on stage. Lick for lick, and like I mentioned earlier, that guitar solo on Hotel California, they're iconic. It's just wonderful, and they nailed it lick for lick, and every song was like that, every song. And they went through some of Glenn Fry's solo stuff and Don Henley's solo stuff. It was put together real well, and they were just me sitting backstage and taking pictures of them looking out towards the crowd and watching their interaction. Man, they were digging it. They were into it. It was good stuff.
Tommy, I guess folks here probably are to the point where we take this thing for granted. With the addition of the Glenn Fry bronze and seeing what's taken place with people coming, fan clubs from all over the world, pretty astounding.
Truly amazing. The people that I've talked with for this past couple of months of leading up to this event, from New Jersey to Indianapolis to London to New Zealand to Germany, Texas, not to mention all the in-state